What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as always. Um, Attracted to Underdogs. I thought about this. I heard something and it sparked a thought. Where it's not just that when it comes to interracial dating, not specifically, but that's where I got it from. Solo TV's interview about interracial dating with Rebecca. And she was like, sometimes women are attracted to men because they're underdogs. So I'm gonna use that and preface this one as, people. It makes sense. People are attracted to underdogs because as a sports fan, I remember not liking the teams that were always winning. I kind of like the bad news bears type of team that began to win, that learned how to win. I remember liking the teams who started from the bottom and worked their way to the top. I remember liking the teams or the players who weren't the prototype or ideal for their position, but they was giving people the business. Those are the people that I liked. In America, quote unquote, has a infatuation with liking underdogs and liking the underdog. So I could see that. I could smoke a bag of that, as Zoe Williams would say. Because even when we talk about relationships and dating, and women liking thugs and not liking nerds or educated lames or classic men, they're not um, between a classic man and a thug. In the beginning, a thug's an underdog because everybody knows the probability of them succeeding doing thug stuff. You're behind the eight ball. Nerds are, you know, nerds, educated lames are the people that in high school you were most likely to succeed. Even though people don't want to say they're most likely to succeed because people feel like because they're cooler than them, that means they're going to be more successful. So they try to kind of beat up their self-esteem. But truth be told, nerds are, in general, are going to be looked at as more successful or on the path to being more successful. You know, so of course, if you are not on the same path, you're an underdog. So that makes you attractive. You know, the stories of the people who come from the wrong side of the tracks. Part of what makes them attractive is that you see the potential in the underdog. You see if they were in a better situation, they would probably be better off than you if they were even in your situation. So it's attractive to meet somebody who can potentially make something out of nothing, you know. And I could dig that. Um, is it a complete truth? No, not at all. Not at all. What happens is a lot of times people get caught off guard because they believe that the underdog is really about that business. They believe that every underdog is really has a work ethic. They believe that every underdog is willing to outwork the competition when that is not the case. That is not true. So a lot of people get their feelings hurt and they get disappointed and sometimes get bitter because some underdogs are quitters because they have to actually you know how can I put this? Underdogs are quitters to the point where it's justified because they're underdogs. They're like, they have to deal with a whole lot more than other people. You know, it's like, so you give them a pass. And that's what happens in these relationships. You know, these people get with underdogs and And when other people say, you know they ain't shit, that's just code language for, they ain't shit. That's what it's code language for. But they're a quitter. You knew that they didn't want to put in the work that it takes to win, to be a winner. You knew that they wasn't gonna push it in spite of all the obstacles. You just were attracted to them because they were underdog, and it looks good to say you are with somebody who had that downtrodden story. If they come up, then you could take credit for it. If they stay where they at, they was like that when you met them, right? So it's not necessarily you, you know. So it's a problem, It's a problem. Guys be the same way. But the irony is when it plays out. A young teenage underdog is different from an adult underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like a 15-year-old underdog story is different from a 20-year-old underdog, different from a 25-year-old underdog, different from a 30-year-old underdog. They're different because um, the underdog might be the nerd who wasn't necessarily smart enough at first and had to outwork everybody. The underdog might be the kid who actually was the underdog and he had to, keep reaching a different level and stabling themselves out, and then going to the next level. So they were constantly the underdog, just in different ways. They were the poor underdog to the middle class underdog, and then they're upper class underdog, and then they're a rich underdog. Because everybody doesn't look at it the same way. So with those different levels as you go on in life, um, you have different type of attractions because some people can see your growth. Sometimes the people you grew up with were cool with you when you were on their level, and then when you went a level above them, y'all not cool no more. But somebody who is already up there might look at you as like, oh, you didn't got all the way up here. They're attracted to you because you're an underdog who actually got to level up. Okay, I could work with you, and so on and so forth. Because if you wind up going above that person on that second level, they're gonna have a problem with you too, because they might have been born into that situation. They might have been supported and enabled to maintain that situation. So going to another level, when you came from a level beneath them, it's gonna rub them the wrong way too. They're not like, really, I've been here my whole life and I couldn't do this, and now you show up and I thought I'm better than you. I'm supposed to be up there where you at. Now you're not supposed to be. You get that thing. And people don't talk about sometimes when you're attracted to the underdog. If you're dealing with an underdog who actually is grinding it out, not working everybody, even the people that are attracted to them initially don't like them because of that. You know, it's kind of like the ugly duckling. Like, you didn't like the ugly duckling at first. Then the ugly duckling looked kind of good. And now you like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I could rock with you now. But then the ugly duckling turned it up a notch, and now you really ain't on their level. And it's like, you ain't all that. I remember when you was the ugly duckling. Just cause you a little swan now you trying to shine and stun on people. I know the real you, the you that was ugly, like that type of stuff. So, just in my opinion, we are attracted to the underdogs, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. I think when it doesn't work is what people complain about. But when it does work, sometimes people try to take credit for stuff they didn't do as to make them feel better. I mean, it's just, it's a mixed bag. Peace.